bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, that is the most mocking thing that people mock me or tell me they remember about this show. Not something I said that was provocative. Not something I said that was this deep thing. It's, oh, yeah, I was at 212-833-212-1017. Really? All you remember is the phone number? Wow. Hey, tonight is kind of special because from 6 to 8, you'll have a live in-studio Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris. So I'm not going to hang out for the whole show, but I will be there. So you make sure you are there. Make sure you hang around and check it out. And hit us on YouTube and all that stuff. So I'm just saying. So I was doing some digging over the weekend and I came across some information that I thought was pretty interesting. And I'm you know, Ben and I are kind of in the same boat when it goes to going down that rabbit hole. And so you spend hours upon hours and weeks upon weeks going into stuff that you probably shouldn't go into, but you do it anyway. And then now you're stuck because you have to find out what's going on. And so what I did is I was looking at just where Black America is now. Like, if we didn't go down the route of Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1968, where would we be? Like, if the world was different, if Kennedy hadn't died, if Martin Luther King hadn't died, if Malcolm X hadn't died, if Medgar Evers hadn't died, if Bobby Kennedy hadn't died, where would we be? Would we have had a slew of Kennedys as president the same way we had a slew of Bushes as president and governors? I wonder. And I find it interesting because everybody talks about the plight of Black America, but I don't think we've ever really looked at the numbers as it relates to Black America. Like, what counts to be successful in Black America? What does it mean to grow up and get a job and live and be able to take care of your family and all those things? Because back in the day, and I mean the 1950s, the 1940s, we didn't have the education level that we have today. We didn't have the access to all sorts of things in life that we have today. Now, granted, there are some people who are constantly on this platform of woe is me, Black people are just terrible and every life is terrible. It is in some cases, but in some cases it's not. And not every Black person's experience has been the same. There are literally some Black people in America that have never experienced racism, or what we commonly call racism. Some people don't experience racism until they're much older because they don't recognize it. They don't know it. They think that it's just people being people, when in fact there is a concerted effort. I didn't experience actual racism. I mean, I saw it on TV, and I saw when people got killed, and I saw shootings and stuff like that. And I understood it, but I really didn't understand it. I was like 8 years old when Martin Luther King got killed. But today I understand it completely. Today I understand the fact that when I went to Illinois State, that story I tell, right? They, you know, I got called an N-word, told me to go home. And that's how I knew I was going to graduate from Illinois State. Has it gotten better? Probably not. Has it changed? Probably not. It's now more of a subtle racism in that if you don't follow what the status quo says you should follow, you get X'd, right? You get pushed aside. You're diminished. So either way, you lose. But when did we start losing? When did this getting tied into white society and wanting to be like white society and wanting to do things? Well, you had to do it in order to get a job, in order to live, in order to go to college, in order to do those things. My question is, would we be better off, since we're on the DEI kick, would we have been better off without DEI or affirmative action? I don't think we would have been better off without affirmative action. That's just like, you'll never change me on that argument. However, giving me a handout didn't help. And I'm not speaking for other Black people, I'm speaking for me. I think it retarded my growth. And you can't say retarded anymore, can you? Well, I said retarded. It retarded my growth. It slowed it down. It put roadblocks in front of it because of how other people thought about me. And I tell the story, I was in the high potential student program and I got out at Illinois State because I had to fight with them. I literally had to fight with them and say, I got in under regular admissions. I don't really understand what it is you're talking about. Well, what do you mean? Okay, my grade point average and my SAT, my ACT scores and I've done, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I had done college for 3 years. I transferred and I'm gone. I don't really understand why you want me in a high potential student program to pay me to go to school to get a C. I don't, what? And so part of it is I wanted to find out, are we doing better today than we were in the 1950s? And so since not a lot of us went to college, but of course we did, if you think about the Divine Nine and all the fraternities and sororities that have been started, with the exception of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated, most of us started as early as the turn of the century in 1906, and there were fraternal organizations long before that, until, 1922? I think Sigma Gamma Rho. So there was a substantial gap between the 20s and the 60s when the fifth fraternity started. But it's also important to recognize that a lot of us didn't go to college. And so I started digging, like, what was the employment percentage for black people in 1955? Just picked a random year, 1955. And it's hard to figure out what that was, but watch this. Not looking at your education attainment, right? Whether you were in college or high school, whether you graduate from college or high school or a 2-year degree. In the mid-1950s, the overall labor force participation rate for black men, you ready? What do you think it was? Black men, 1955, including all, high school, associate's degree, some college, till a college grad. What do you think the labor participation rate for black men was?
I'm going to say 6%.
6%. And for black women, it was what? Now, granted, take into account, we're and I don't, somebody gonna get mad, I don't really care. The traditional household, woman stays at home, or the woman works a part-time job or whatever, versus men. That was, the norm was the guy goes out and works, the woman stays home, takes care of the kids. What do you think the participation rate was for black women in 1955?
Less than 1%?
Less than 1%. In the mid-1950s, the overall labor force participation rate for black men was approximately 80%. While for black women, it was around 40%. These figures reflect general participation, do not isolate educational attainment levels. At the time, 20% of black Americans had completed high school, 43% of whites. That suggests that in 1955, the percentage of black individuals with only a high school diploma was likely lower, making it a challenge to extract precise employment percentages. But when you think about it, didn't everybody in your grandfather's family work? Everybody. Uncles, cousins, everybody had a job. But then we look at, say, 2019. And the reason I chose 2019, because it was the year before COVID really took hold and all that stuff happened. Right? And so we're looking at overall and black people. In 2019, unfortunately, black people, the labor participation rate for black Americans aged 25 and over with only a high school diploma, no college, 58.9%. And that's everybody. Some high school, graduated from high school, some college, associate's degree, bachelor's degree and up. And so what it looks like is this. Black men historically exhibited higher labor participation rates than black women. Overall, black men aged 20 and over was 68.1%. For black women, same age group, 62.5%. But the problem I'm having is what happened to the 80%? What happened to the 80% of those who didn't go to college and had to take those jobs that were low paying, close to minimum wage, barely took care of your family? Where were they? They went to work every day. Not talking about the system, not talking about, oh my God, it's terrible. What happened to black workers? Why don't our young men want to go to work? We keep hearing that there are more black women this and more black women that, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I don't know if we want to blame racism. We can in many instances. But what is that? What is it about working that sends the black community into a tizzy? Can somebody figure that out for me? Because I don't understand. When we talk about it, we never really do anything about it. But then it clicked when we look at voting, when we look at how much money we spend in the black community. A lack of or an overindulgence in is part of our problem and part of our solution. We cherry pick those things that are important to us. Why we don't vote, for the life of me, I don't understand. Why we don't work, for the life of me, I don't understand. I've never heard anybody not working complain that they don't have anything. Like if you don't work, you're not going to have anything. Your parents are not going to live there for the rest of their lives, and they're not going to be alive when their life is over. What are you going to do? And then it dawned on me, why was voting so high this past election? Why did you care so much about putting somebody on the Supreme Court and putting somebody in DPI, but you don't care about getting a job? But it's the same thing we do when we can do not enough of it. And then sometimes we pick the wrong thing and we do too much of it. And it comes down to a simple word. The issues in our lives that we overcome and the issues in our lives that we fail at are all due to the same thing. Participation.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Eric Name joins Marcus and Chris for an off-season Bucks conversation. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design.
Great impressions.
Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
What's the sense in sharing this one and only life? Ending ending up just another lost and lonely wife. You count up the years, and they will be filled with tears. Love only breaks up to start over again. You'll get the babies, but you won't have your man. While he's busy loving every woman that he can. Say I'm gonna leave 100 times a day. It's easier said than done when you just can't break away. Oh, young hearts.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know when you call yourself an old soul, you're not old soul. You're not even 30 yet, are you?
I am not.
See, that's what I'm saying. He be picking the music, not me. I just kind of get my idea of this is the, that's going back a little bit. That's slightly that's Gloria Gaynor, right? Yeah, that's kind of, it's.
Actually, Candy Stanton. What am I talking about?
Candy Stanton, Gloria Gaynor, they kind of sound the same. Kind of like, kind of during the disco time, but not really. This would have been considered a slow song during disco. So, 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me hit the talking text line because I've been remiss the last few days. So, good afternoon. I'm reaching out to get your opinion on a situation when a lady randomly walked into incoming traffic and was hit by a vehicle, and the police hit the lady also, but both parties didn't see her, but only one party is facing the consequences. That happened a while ago. I do believe. That was a while ago. I'm not a lawyer, so I really can't say. I mean, when you say only one party, it sounds like you're just setting up the police to take the fall if they hit her too, but nothing happened to them. I would I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really say how this works. But if you randomly, okay, first of all, when you say randomly walks into incoming traffic, was it outgoing? Okay, so she walked into traffic, whether she did it purposefully or not, and was hit by a car, and then subsequently the police responded and hit her. If the first person hit her, and I don't know whether or not the person passed away or not, and was injured or died, why would you then charge the second person who did it? That would be as if you walked into traffic and got hit by a car and flew up in the air, landed, and then somebody else ran over you. I wouldn't charge them. I wouldn't. I don't think that would be. And I'm not a prosecutor. It's just an opinion. But all things being equal, I don't know if you would charge the police officer. Like, you may just not like the police and you say that person should be charged. But I don't know. I don't know the situations. I don't know the circumstances. It doesn't matter if it's a lady or a man. It matters if they have mental health issues. But it also matters where they walked into the street. Did they walk into the street in the crosswalk? Did they walk into the street in the middle of the street? Was it a highway? Like, what were the expectations at the time? And I don't know. So you can't really give a clear answer to something where you don't have all the information. That's a pretty generic, hit by one car and then police hit the lady, but both parties didn't see her, but only one party. Well, who hit her first? The person that would hit her first, I believe, but I don't know the case law that goes with, a pedestrian being struck by a car. I'm pretty sure there's like 90% sure there's case law as to who is considered culpable when there's a multiple car pedestrian struck, just like when you have a multiple car accident. Like, who's at fault? The person who is stopped in the road, or the person that runs into the person who stops in the road, or the person that runs into the person who runs into, like, all that is a chain reaction, and who do you blame? Well, one of the things is that regardless of what happens, you have to have control over your car. That means you have to be driving at a speed where you have control over your car if and when you have to stop or do all sorts of things. As you notice, we got those things called cell phones where people don't watch, people don't listening to music loud, and bad things happen. 833-212-1017 is the number. Miles said, happy Cinco de Mayo, Dr. Ken. I am on time today, and I have some questions for you. What are your questions? What are your questions? Lana Banana, of course, said, happy afternoon. So, I'm just saying. Should I get him? Should I get him? You didn't even say congratulations? Yeah, like I see you. You just walk past me like it's. I'm teasing. I had something to do. I had a dinner to be at. So that's all right. That's all right. Don't be like, hey, remember somebody was complaining? Yeah, this is the dude right here. Be like this one. But yeah. First of all, I want to say, because I haven't said it, congratulations to WGKB FM 101.7 FM. We were at the Wisconsin Broadcast Association Awards ceremony on Saturday night. I was not there. I was somewhere else. I was hanging out with Chi Phi, nursing sorority, who was celebrating their 10th year as a chapter here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So congratulations to all the registered nurses who are members of Chi Phi. Started at Freedman's Hospital, 1932. That's now Howard University Hospital in Washington, D.C. And the chapter here, Theta Chi Chi, celebrated their 10th year. And their guest was Neutrina Tate, who is the Dr. Neutrina Tate, my bad, who is the incoming national president of the Pediatric Nurses Association. So she was a speaker. It's pretty cool. Former Middle West director for the sorority. So, and she's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So it was pretty cool. Saturday night was pretty cool. Got to celebrate. And at the same time, Wisconsin Broadcast Association. So I don't know who won everything because I wasn't there, but I know Carrie Noni won first place. I won the first place. Tori Lowe won the first place and the second place and the third place and the fourth place and the fifth. Okay, I'm just saying. And so multiple people won multiple awards, different places. So as usual, we are continuing to be the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. So I won, let me see what this said. Wisconsin Broadcast Association, WGKB FM 101.7 The Truth Summit. So I won it for the Truth Summit, Best Specialty Programming. And so we'll be doing that again this year in October. And so we had a nice crowd last year. This year we're going to be talking about those same things. What's going on in the city of Milwaukee as it relates to politics, as it relates to education, all those things that's going on. So when we get the location, when we lock it down, make sure you sign up. It's limited. Audience is limited. So it's going to be coming up later this year. So make sure y'all check it out. I'm just saying. So congratulations to everybody. I'm excited for Carrie Noni. She got second place, best radio show, large market. So that's what's up. And of course, our colleagues Vince Vetrano got third place, large market. So that was pretty cool. Yep, we cleaned up again. We did great. And congratulations to all of you all. They did an absolutely phenomenal job. They went and represented. You can check it out on X. You can check it out on Instagram, Facebook. You know, you can see all the hoopla and folk being dressed up, and you know they dress up kind of nice. Did you go, Sean? Did you go Saturday? You didn't go? Oh, see how you be treating us? I knew content director be like, I ain't going with y'all because I'm from out east. Y'all know how it is. I'm from Jersey. I don't, you know. If you're not wearing a tuxedo, I'm not going. I don't blame him though. If you ain't wearing a tuxedo, but no. So we've had the support of people like Sean and you know people like Greg, our market manager, and they've done some phenomenal things and have done some great things to help us move and grow. Kyle Wallace, who's now taking over the airwaves on our sister station, ESPN. So, they kind of did it. It's nice to see that people reward you for the hard work that you do. And none of this could have been done without the producers that we have at 101.7 The Truth. I'm not going to lie. A lot of this is them. They sit down and they go through hours and hours of audio and edit and do all sorts of things and make it sound good, even when you don't sound good. That picture you take, and then by the time the photographer's done with it, it's like, wow. Yeah, that. They do it in audio fashion. And so it works out pretty great. And they've done some phenomenal things, and they go back and find those things that they think are great, and they took it. And so that's what's up. I think we took social media, too. So, the things that count, the small things that put you over the top, those are the types of things. So it only makes for a great future, makes for a great future. First year out, we have best morning show. So, it's just one of those things. So we'll just keep going. So I want to say thank you, especially to Truth fans. The only reason we won was Truth Nation. Truth Nation has been able to support us even when we were down, even when we were struggling, even when we were just starting out. And all I ask is that you tell somebody, because still people in Milwaukee haven't heard of us. They come up with every reason that they have to not want to listen to 101.7 The Truth, and then they listen, and then they never go away. Now, before I go to break, I got to tell you, my 84-year-old mother-in-law found the truth. So when I leave, it used to be, hey, can you turn on such and such on TV? Can you do that? Got to be respectful, right, of your elders. Guess what? Hey, can you turn on 101.7 The Truth? Like, what's that again? Admin. Okay, give me that radio station again. She wrote it down. And that's the truth. She wrote it down. I was like, huh? Where you gonna be on? So I'm stuck now. Like, I'm stuck. To come home and your mother-in-law is listening to Sherwin Hughes. It's like, I had to throw that in. And so I think it's pretty cool. Listen to Tori Lowe, listen to Kyle. And so that's the breadth of the truth. Then we got them young folks like Ben and Noni and, all them folks that kind of hold down the morning. But it's just a great thing to be here. And so I want to say congratulations to Truth Nation, because without you, we wouldn't have the truth. And now with 101.7 The Truth traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Backups on northbound 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Hampton. Southbound's heavy from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43 backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keith. The southbound side slowing down from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge all the way to the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 storm team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 65 at the lake, 71 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to join the fun? With Girl Scouts Extended Year Membership from Girl Scouts,
you can sign up by June 30th and get up to 18 months of adventure through September 30th, 2026.
Girls starting kindergarten or first grade in 2025 will also receive 3 Get Ready with Girl Scouts activity books,
featuring games, crafts, and stories the whole family will love, for free. Plus, you'll even get a special gift from the Girl Scouts. Join today and get ready to grow, explore, and shine with Girl Scouts.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at mda75.org.
It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because you can get up to 6 years of 0% financing at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Yes, no interest for up to 72 months, and the full Pella experience is always included. That means the Pella team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the work is done. Set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. A Pella design expert will listen to your vision and then present the different colors, sizes, and customizations needed to make that vision a reality. It can feel overwhelming to consider what feels like limitless possibilities, but Pella's design team can help narrow those options down for you to create that dream upgrade. Hurry, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends May 31st, 2025. So visit PellaWI.com today.
Being a caregiver for a family member can be very rewarding. It can be very challenging, too. Besides taking a physical and emotional toll, it can also take a real financial toll, especially if you're paying for home safety upgrades, covering medical expenses, cutting back on hours at your job, or having to leave your job altogether. In some states and in certain situations, you may be eligible to get paid for the care you provide, but finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Brewers avoid a sweep at home with a 4-0 win over the Chicago Cubs Sunday. Milwaukee finally broke through with a 4-run sixth inning, including a clutch 2-run double from Caleb Durbin. The Brewers open a new series Monday night against the Astros at American Family Field. Milwaukee is currently sitting at 17-18 on the season.
He gets it. Leon shoots. Tip. They score! Game over! Series over!
In hockey, the Winnipeg Jets stunned the St. Louis Blues in Game 7 of their first-round playoff series. Adam Lowry netted the game winner, getting Winnipeg to the Western Conference semifinals against the Dallas Stars. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know I got hollered at, right? She's 82. 82. And so I was telling Glenn, you know, after 60, does 2 years matter? Like, I guess if you 82 versus 84, 2 years matter. So my apologies. I said 84 and she's 82. My apologies. All right, Grandma. So I'm gonna probably hear for that one too. So, 833-212-1017 number. How can you say which vehicle actually killed her if the police ran over her 30 seconds after the first car? Because I'm pretty sure, having been a traffic accident investigator for the Milwaukee Police Department during doing serious injury and fatal accidents, if a car hits you and if it runs over you, you're probably going to die. So you can't say I got hit by a car and I didn't. So who knows? I don't think you can find out. I don't know if you can do that unless you have a coroner do it. But I don't understand what your argument is. You want the police officer to be charged too? That's like saying if you're in a car and you ran over somebody 30 seconds after somebody else did and you didn't see him and they didn't see him, is it the person's fault? Like, I'm not. And why are we laying blame to somebody where it's a car crash? And let me say this, it's not an accident, it's a crash. Because we like to say accident when in fact, and we've since changed that terminology. It's a crash report. You know, God knows what they call it now. But it's a crash report. So I get it. Lana Banana, what are you doing? All right, Glenn, on the ones and twos. Hey, that's a Tory Lowe thing. We don't do the ones and twos here on 101.7 The Truth in the afternoon. I'm just saying. That's some Tory Lowe stuff. Leave Sherwin stuff in Sherwin show. Tory Lowe with the Tory Lowe show. Kyle. Ben and Carrie. Then me. All right? Okay. I'm bringing up the rear. What did he just say? What did he just say? I heard him say something. Don't be faking. That's all right. I love how you be having a.
We just trying to figure out what's going on back here.
Right. Okay. Y'all see how Glenn be trying to use that deep voice? Oh, we just trying to tell us back here. But no, it's great to be here. It's Monday afternoon. Thank you, Lana Banana. Congratulations. Red said giving, and giving is all I got. So you keep it hot. So y'all need to stop. None of y'all speak Spanish. I don't know why. Just because it's Cinco. So nobody does anything before Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo gets here. Now all of a sudden you talk about all your Spanish friends. And you ain't got no Spanish friends, but I know you be talking about you got these Spanish friends. And quiet as kept, I don't see, Latinos beating down the door during Black History Month. I'm just saying. Let me tell you. Isn't there Hispanic Heritage Month, too? And we ain't gonna beat down their door for it, so I don't know why we be tripping. I don't know why y'all be tripping. Perpetrate. 833-212-1017 is the number. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. How are you? I'm fine. What's going on?
Oh, I'm okay. What's going on? I was just listening, and you were talking about why blacks don't want to work, or do you mean men or women?
Well, why don't we want to work today? If we were like 80% of black people, regardless of where we were and what we were doing, we were 80% of us were working. Now that's down to like 60-something percent. Why?
Well, I was looking it up, and some of it I have to jot down because it's a lot about it, but they say it's still so much discrimination when they go for jobs and stuff.
How long are we going to use that?
Speaking of.
How long? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
That was.
How long, don't holler at me, Sandra.
Okay, no, I'm not hollering.
How long are we going to use it?
I read it.
How long are we going to use discrimination as a reason why we can't get a job?
Well, I just read it. I had to look it up because I thought everybody kind of get a job.
If we don't go to school, we don't graduate from high school, we don't know how to read, we don't know how to write. I'm giving the worst case scenario. We don't know how to do math. We can't write our name. We can barely block print our name. Because that's how y'all talk about black people. Like they're just the lowest and they can't do anything. And it's just not true. It's just not true.
True. I believe it. That's why I called it descendants.
And so
because
at some point,
it isn't true.
So at some point, when are we going to stop blaming discrimination and just look at some people are just lazy and don't get up? Well, come on,
I'm never going to stop.
I was discriminated against and I got a job. I got multiple jobs. Stop.
Affirmative action.
DEI don't count.
They're making kids pay more for college now.
DEI does not count.
They're making people pay more for college.
What do you mean
now,
if you owe your college loan, like they make black people pay more for college than white people?
They won't get the loans they were getting, the grants or whatever, because they want to cut out that part of it too.
Sandra.
Yes.
More white people got loans than black people.
It's always that.
So then what are you talking about?
Then what are you
talking about,
man? Why don't we say white people are gaining all the benefits? Spanish people,
how are white people gaining all the benefits? Explain that to me. Because hang on. I'm not disagreeing with you. I want you to explain to me how that happened, because we say a lot of stuff, but then when you ask people where they get it from and what it's about, nobody knows.
They always had it. Because when I started working, I had to go to Urban League.
Who's they?
When I started working, I had to go to Urban League to help my black behind get a job.
Okay.
So this is all this underneath stuff that we don't know. At least the people don't know. You might know it because you teach class.
So we just automatically blame it on racism.
It's definitely racism. I'm going to blame everything on racism.
Hang on. You got to show up in order to be discriminated against. You're not showing up. You're not going to school.
Who says that?
They're not going to school. Look at the graduate. Have you looked at MPS? Have you looked at MPS? Have you looked at MPS? We are not showing up to school. They want to get rid of MPS anyways. They're going to make everything negative by MPS. You keep coming up with excuses.
They want to pay school. You know what they want. It's a money-driven thing. They want to cut out the schools. They want you to pay for your kids' education. And there goes another discrimination case.
It's not.
They're going to cut these public schools out. You know that.
Where'd you get this from?
Yes, they are.
Where'd you get this from?
You see it.
Where'd you get this from?
You see the writing on the wall. I see the writing on the wall.
We've been waiting on that writing for 30 years. And it ain't happened? So.
And you said all these teachers are quitting and all of this. I thought you were Sherwin.
I didn't say they was quitting. That was Sherwin talking about that. Teachers are quitting.
Sherwin.
Teachers are quitting because the union.
That's what you're saying.
What?
It ain't the union. It ain't the union. Right. I do not blame the union because police got a union. Union take up for police. Union is supposed to take up for its people that work in that place.
You're wrong.
No, I am not.
You're wrong. 100% wrong.
No, I am not, because we pay dues to the union to be able to fight.
This has nothing to do with the union. This has everything to do with the fact that the union put the people on the union. Let me explain it.
Okay, go ahead.
Put them on the school board, and the people on the school board are kowtowing to whatever the union wants done. Now, the teachers are part of the union, so it's this vicious circle. Give them more money so they can pay more money to the union, so the union can get more money, so they can get more teachers, so they can pay more. But who's losing? Children are not learning. Children are in schools with lead. We got all these issues, and nobody ever mentions the children. It always defaults to the teacher.
That happened. That started happening the minute white flight came about.
No,
yes,
didn't.
It did.
No, it
white flight came about. Yes, it did. Because I watched what happened. I watched the expressway come to usher those people out of here. I watched our schools go down. I watched it all.
Okay, first of all, the schools didn't go down because when I got here in 1990. Let me finish. When I got here in 1993, the schools were good. There was nothing bad about MPS schools.
But there were plans in the making, just like this Heritage Foundation are making these plans.
Stop.
All these plans are in the background.
Black people are so gullible. Black people are so gullible that they just fall to all
to let them know what's coming down the pipeline. Everything gonna be privatized, so they better get in the business.
Last question.
Okay.
So what's the theory behind black people not going to school? Like where's the conspiracy theory around that? Like what's the system making them not wake up in the morning to go to school?
Maybe they taking everything out. Because when I was going, they had a lot of things. They had bands. They had you can act in school. You had music in school. You can take music lessons. All that stuff. So you got stuff to make the people feel good about. Just like the neighborhood.
So what about this thing called arithmetic, science, civics, history? You know, the stuff you're supposed to know to go to school.
Right.
Band is extra.
Well,
what are we talking about?
I think you need to get them going. But get them some tutors.
Really?
Get them some tutors.
Really?
Tutors. We got to get our kids going. Because we can't keep saying, they're not doing this. Blacks.
You the one saying
everything
that.
I hear is blacks not doing this.
You said the reason why they wasn't going because of racism.
You said why they're not going to work.
Racism. Get out of here.
And you with black people? You with black people, Dr. Ken. Tell the truth.
Oh, nah. Go
because
to
all
school.
the negative stuff is driven around black.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to read some more.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to read about this kind of stuff.
Why you always hollering at me, Sandra?
I'm not hollering. Maybe that's the way I talk. I'm gonna get a real soft voice.
That'll never happen.
I'm not hollering at you though. It's not your fault.
Yes, you are.
I holler at
I'm gonna go
the way it is in society.
What do you mean the way it is? Change it.
The way society. Look, I told you every day about the raggedy houses, the flooded bricks falling off the church.
Then
that's what I'm hollering about. I'm not hollering at you.
Then sell your house and move.
I ain't giving. You know what? I ain't giving the real estate broker another dime. I will not give these real estate brokers. They make all the money.
But you
they
can't
kick the animals out of those.
Then stop complaining.
Country land.
Then stop complaining.
They kick the animals out of the country land, building them cheap behind houses. They're gonna fall apart before 25 years.
Then stop complaining. You can't have it both ways.
I gotta complain because we got big people that taking all the money money we give to our state. So I'm gonna keep complaining. I'm not gonna let them blame on black people.
You know a lot of them houses black people own.
I'm not gonna let them blame everything on black.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's my final word. Okay. Bye-bye.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, make sure you check out a special edition of Truth Unfiltered this Monday night from 6 to 8 with me, Dr. Ken Harris, and Denise Thomas. What's going to make this show so special? Well, it's first time Truth Unfiltered will be live streamed on Truth's YouTube channel. And not only that, but we'll be also opening up the phone lines for our loyal Truth fans to call in and talk to little old me and DT. Though we may regret that later, but, we'll probably get into our usual argument and fight and fuss and all that stuff. That's because we love each other, but as usual, you'll get the real and the raw you always get from Denise and I. But we also want to see you, hear you, and connect with you on the YouTube chat. So don't miss this special edition of Truth Unfiltered with me and DT, Monday night, 6 to 8 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live on YouTube.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at omegasecurityguard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning, protecting what matters most.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. There are times in everyone's life when life tosses you a curveball and you have to readjust, realign, and rededicate your resources to making things better. Sometimes you may know what to do, and many times it's the first time you've ever faced an issue, especially when it's financial. For the last couple of decades, I've been able to turn to Educators Credit Union. I've had a financial issue that involved another family member, and I was able to go in and get advice and a plan, and I'm here today to tell you that it worked. At Educators, our members are our purpose. As a credit union, we're not concerned about profits or the bottom line of shareholders. Our greatest reward is you achieving your financial dreams through lower risk, lower rates, and access to free financial resources. Experience more heart and less hassle by switching today. Achieve more at ECU.com, insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required. 833-212-1017 is the number. Gotta check the talk and text now. Hope everybody had a nice day. It ain't over yet, is it? It's almost 5 o'clock. Lana Banana said, all right, Glenn, good job. I thought you was hanging out with me, Lana Banana. See how people do you? RC say, black people like to eat, so we celebrate all holidays. Is this the same black people that got heart disease and high blood pressure and diabetes? Okay. All right. Keep it up. Y'all keep it up. Keep it up, because I'm just, yeah. That's too much. That's just too much. That's just me. 833-212. Y'all hear how Sandra just hollered at me? I mean, she hollered at me. So she complained about her neighborhood. Then I said, move. And she said, she's not selling to people. I'm like, so what do you do about black people that own all those houses and they run down and they raggedy? You don't say nothing to them? I'm just saying, if we gonna call people out and say, hey, we live in, I was driving up 27th Street the other day, and I was thinking to myself, who owns those houses? Like, we need to find out who owns those houses. And if the city owns them, they need to tear them down. Nobody's going to go in some of those houses and repair them. I wonder. And I wonder how many, like I said last week, I wonder how many kids in college all over the country we've paid for their college by paying rent in those houses. People that rent houses for decades, but yet pay tuition for people in the suburbs to send their kids to school, and then get accused of not doing stuff right. Interesting. Top 5 at 5 up next.
New 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Truth Nation, it's a big week for the Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast, so let's go. Have you ever wanted to become a Girl Scout? Sign up for their extended year membership today. Girls can join just for $98 and adults for only $42. Take advantage of their extended year membership by June 30th. And girls starting kindergarten and first grade in 2025 will receive 3 fun skill-building activity books for the whole family and more. It's a special big week for the Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast. To become a Girl Scout this year, join today at gswise.org. Join today.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Ray Riley with your news update. Filing a lawsuit over funding cuts to AmeriCorps. Wisconsin is one of 24 states suing the Trump administration over an end to grant funding for volunteer service programs. AmeriCorps programs in Wisconsin include tutoring, conservation, library services, and support for homeless youth. The cuts could end services at 300 sites across the state. A Racine man will spend nearly 4 years in federal prison for a role in the nationwide swatting spree. 23-year-old Kaya Christian Nelson hacked Ring doorbell cameras and made fake emergency calls to police, then watched and taunted officers through devices in November of 2020. Nelson has been in a federal prison in Kentucky since August of last year. Nelson also pleaded guilty to conspiracy and computer crimes in January. A former Milwaukee police captain is appealing her firing. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports Roberta Klein was terminated in January after internal investigations found she violated department policies by blocking a surgeon's transfer over concerns the officer might take family leave. Klein has denied any wrongdoing, and her appeal will be heard by the city's Fire and Police Commission on May 8th and 9th. The department says Klein's dismissal is the only captain termination on record. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Am I there yet? Gotta wait. Okay. So it's been an interesting day. I thought it was gonna be like 70 degrees, like it was the other day, and then it wasn't. And so when you wake up, right, at 5 a.m, and it says 54 degrees, right? and the high is 57, you're in trouble. And then when you work where it's cold, near the lake, and the temperature's like colder, yeah. Yep. Wrong choice.
Number 5.
So here's the deal. Have you heard of the Met Gala?
Yes, I have.
Right. Yeah, you would. You're from Harlem. They have an exclusive focus tonight on black men's fashion. And so people are complaining. Like, for the first time at the Glamour, this is from NBCnews.com. For the first time at the glamorous Met Gala in New York, black men, their style, expression, elegance, creativity, and versatility will be on full display. And that's pretty cool. The book, Slave to Fashion, Black Dandyism, and the Style of Black Diasporic Identity by Monica L. Miller is tonight's theme. Super fine, tailored black style. White people are complaining about it. Conservatives are complaining about it. It's terrible. Also, it's the Met Gala. Common old folk like me can't afford to go to the Met Gala. You know why? Because the tickets to the Met Gala are nosebleed tickets. It's cheaper to go sit in the mezzanine level. What's that? Orchestra level for Cowboy Carter than to go to the Met. That kind of money. So it makes no sense when people complain. People complain about it. They complain about the red carpet and all this. But my thing is, why do you go to the Met to raise money for the Met? And some of the things I hear that happen there, you know, people in the bathroom doing all sorts of things. And no, I'm not talking about drugs and cocaine. They kind of do that in the open. You know, having sex in bathrooms and all kind of bizarre land stuff and the way people dress. Like, why dress in a see-through dress and then everything shows? Like, what? Like, it's just, yeah. Too much pornography, too many things that go on there because only rich people do it. Now, granted, do I want to be rich? Sure. I don't want to be rich like that because it just makes no sense. And so you go there to raise money to do. Is it sort of like going to Coachella? I think Coachella's a little less risque, so to speak. Like Coachella's the new, like Woodstock, circa 2025. You know, everybody goes there and parties. You're liable to smell anything from crack to weed. You're liable to see people overdosing on heroin, you know, all kind of stuff. Because it's California. It's Coachella. Come on. Why you would go, like I know people that go to concerts and they're like 4-day concerts. And they go home and then they go back the next day and they listen to music all day. And then they go home and they go back. And I'm like, why? Do the Woodstock thing. Spend the night and let people play music all night and all day and all night and all day. But I guess that's why most people went to Woodstock are dead. So then there's that.
Number 4.
Well, you remember we talked about it from CBS58.com. The woman that shot the Milwaukee dentist in Brown Deer pled not guilty. So, I don't know if you remember. The woman accused of killing a Milwaukee dentist in Brown Deer over an argument about loud music pleaded not guilty in court today. 27-year-old Kiana McGowan is charged with second-degree reckless homicide in connection of the death of 41-year-old dentist Akatunde Bowden. In court, McGowan waived her right to a preliminary hearing. You are Kiana McGowan. You're 27 years old, and you have completed 13 and a half years of schooling. That's what the Milwaukee County Court Commissioner Susan Roth said in under 3 minutes. McGowan's next court appearance is June 12th. She's accused of fatally shooting Bowden on April 19th at an apartment complex near Park Plaza Court and Brown Deer Road. Brown Deer police say when they entered McGowan's apartment, they saw Bowden with a gunshot wound to his lower abdomen. McGowan told police Bowden asked her to turn the music down. She agreed, but says Bowden returned a second time, kicking her door. That's when she shot him. Bowden's father, Nathaniel Bowden, lives in Chicago. He was at the plea hearing this morning. He said, my son's gone. I mean, he's actually gone. We put him away over the weekend. says Nathaniel Bowden. I want a conviction. I mean, it's a loss. I mean, it's a great loss. It's a spiritual loss. It's a psychological loss. It's all kinds of losses. Previously, during intake court, Court Commissioner Barry Phillips stated there were multiple inconsistencies between the arrest report and the criminal complaint, including whether or not Bowden was intoxicated. McGowan stated he was drinking beer, but Brown Deer police say they only found a can of sparkling water next to his feet. Nathaniel says no matter how long it may take, he plans on being at every court appearance until his son gets justice. He said, we're going to let the system play out. Every time we'll be here for him. We owe him that.
Number 3.
This from Racine County I don't know if you heard. A man was shot and killed during a police encounter near 17th and Franklin in the city of Racine. Sunday night, during a police encounter near 17th and Franklin in Racine, as stated before, according to a witness who said he saw the shooting and later recorded video of the aftermath. Incident occurred around 11:12 p.m. on Sunday night, May 4th. That's last night. And as of early this morning, the man's body remained at the scene, and Racine police continued their investigation. What do we think happened? What do we know? Witness requesting anonymity told the Racine County Eye he heard a crash outside his home just before the shooting, and when he looked out, he saw a black sedan collided with a parked car across the street. He hit my neighbor's car, the witness said. A Racine police squad was positioned behind the sedan. According to the statement from the Racine Police Department, officers had attempted to arrest the man in the 900 block of 17th Street. The man, identified only as an adult male with ties to Racine, was wanted in connection to a violent domestic abuse assault reported earlier that day. He attempted to flee in a vehicle but crashed roughly a half a block away. The man driving the sedan reportedly got out just as police exited their car. The officer gave a verbal command, though the witness says he couldn't make out what was said. The guy just started running. That's when I heard 4 shots. Police say the man exited the crashed vehicle with a handgun in his hand and began to raise the weapon. Racine officer then just discharged his firearm, striking the man. The witness didn't see the man point a weapon, but did note that a firearm was visible on the street shortly after. So, seems like tragedy is moving south toward the Illinois-Wisconsin border. There's been a lot of things that have been happening. It's jumping off. It's starting to get warm outside. And so we have to make sure the community is safe. I'm pretty sure, well, this is an unfortunate thing. So going on with the story, video footage captured the witness shows a handgun laying on the pavement a short distance from where the man collapsed face down after the shooting. Officers handcuffed the man, turned him over, and called for emergency medical assistance and began CPR. Emergency responders arrived shortly after the continued life-saving measures, but the person was pronounced dead at the scene. And of course, Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation is handling the investigation because it is a officer-related shooting.
Number 2.
This is a different one. This is a different one from Biz Times. Got some business news for you, biztimes.com. So, Milwaukee-based financial services company Baird issued a statement in response to a Wall Street Journal report last week that said some junior and mid-level investment banking employees at the firm were forced to work extremely long hours, including, you ready? Y'all ready for this? You know, for y'all always complain, I gotta work so hard. 20-hour days and 110-hour weeks, which in some cases leads to serious health problems for the employees. Here's a statement from Baird. Milwaukee-based financial, let me see. Last week, a national media outlet published an article about our firm and our investment banking business that lifts heavily from anonymous web chat board content and includes no-name sources. We take very seriously any accusations about negative comments. Let me get that right. We take very seriously any accusations or negative comments about our culture or the experiences of working in an area of our firm. If allegations surface, we act immediately to investigate, confirm, and resolve them to the best of our ability. We strive to be a great place to work, and in many ways believe we are ahead of our peers in managing and developing our people. Working in investment banking can be challenging. We work hard every day to foster a great culture, provide long-term sustainable careers for our associates. We also know we are not perfect and remain focused on improving how we manage and develop our people and our business. While we believe recent allegations posted online are misleading and incomplete and unfairly characterize our business, our leaders, members of our team, and our culture, this is a chance to restate our promise to all and redouble our efforts to make sure we're creating the best workplace we possibly can. To all our associates, we thank you for putting so much hard work and energy into providing great services to our clients. And as always, we welcome any comments and ideas you have to continue to make us better. Would you submit something to your company if they said that?
I know for one thing, as an intern, I would never even stay for 20 hours anywhere.
Well, that's because you don't want a job. That's one. So what's the flip side? You work hard in an incredible industry that's literally open 24 hours a day, because when the markets here are closed, they're open in Japan and China and all, so in Europe. So you're kind of like, you know, I hate to say it, slave to the clock, right? The flip side is they never said they didn't do it. They never said we don't do that.
So you get selected for part of our. You get selected for a 20, or you work 20-hour days in order to get an entry-level position at a good firm. You get
selected to be an associate at an entry-level position after you get a degree in finance or a degree in accounting, and you want to go into the market and work the markets and investment. You're going to be making a significant piece of change, well over 6 figures. Guess what? You're going to work hard. You pay hard, you work hard, you play hard. But were some of them working 20 hours? Probably. That's called work. When I was growing up, that's what you did. Dude, I would go to the radio station at 11 o'clock. No, that's not true. I would go to the station and get there at 9:30 because the radio show I was doing overnights, Eddie Schwartz show on WGN, started at 11 o'clock. No, it started at 11:30. I would get there at 9:30. Some days I didn't get home till noon. So I'm like, we do 12, 13, 14-hour days. I remember once when there was an earthquake. You wasn't born yet. There was an earthquake at Candlestick Park, when they used to call it Candlestick Park, and when they were playing baseball out in San Francisco, I was on a tour. I was teaching at Columbia College. I did a tour for a radio production class at like 6 o'clock. I never went home. The earthquake started. They needed a producer, and it was on. And I worked from like 6 o'clock till about noon, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock the next day. That's just what you do. Now I can't get you to work 8 hours. I got to do 8 hours? 30-minute lunch. Oh, my God. 30 minutes. I wanted an hour and a half. So, I mean, yeah. So I get it. But nowhere in here did they say they don't do that. They said that there were some mistakes made. There were not necessarily mistakes. There were some things in here that were inconsistent. I wish they would have told us what they were, though. But I'm just saying. But as far as I know, Robert W. Baird, and I've known some people who were directors there, and it's a great place to work. It's a great place to work. I think we have a cultural imbalance where, don't be shaking your head, I'm watching you. It's a cultural imbalance, and young folks don't work hard like they used to. That's all. They just don't work hard. I'm just saying. I mean, you know.
Number 1.
This from WISN.com. The Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office announced today that it has closed its review of the fatal shooting of Samuel Sharp by Columbus Division of Police Officers on July 16th. That was during the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. The investigation, led by the Milwaukee Area Investigative Team and the Greenfield Police Department, determined that the officer's use of deadly force was legally justified under state law. If you remember, it occurred near King Park 1531 West Valete, about a mile from Fiserv. The police departments from across the country were here, and they were here to assist MPD. According to police, 14 officers from Columbus, Ohio, patrol the area. Sharp, armed with 2 knives, charged towards an unarmed man. Officers report that after giving verbal commands to Sharp to drop the knives, he didn't comply. 5 officers fired their weapons when Sharp was within striking distance of the unarmed man, according to police. And that was also according to video, because there was video of the shooting. And so Sharp was struck by multiple gunshots and pronounced dead at the scene. Milwaukee medical examiner determined the cause of death to be multiple gunshot wounds. And the DA's office concluded that the officers acted within the bounds of Wisconsin law, which permits the use of deadly force to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to another person. So even because if it hadn't been officers, they would have been justified to do what they did. The officers' use of force under the circumstances presented to them at the time was permissible under Wisconsin law, and in order to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm, District Attorney Kent Laverne wrote in the report. The case is now officially closed with no further action to be taken. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, there's no better time to upgrade your windows. It's getting kind of cool now, so you can start to feel it, but eventually it's going to get hot and all the heat's going to come in. You need to upgrade your windows and doors, and you can do it right now because Pella is offering up to 6 years of 0% financing. So set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision, suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality. It's that simple. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends May 31st, 2025. So what do you have to do? Visit PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com today.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Start jamming in the morning and get your daily drop of juice.
Juice gets you hydrated and started for your day. And that's what we plan to do from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Every single morning, we're going to be keeping you in the mix, talking about everything you care about all before 9 a.m.
So wipe that crust out your eyes and get ready for jamming with juice.
Turning your mornings into your favorite part of the day.
Get that steak breath out of here. Brush your teeth.
It's it, bro. You like, what? Catch Jammin' with Juice
from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Milwaukee.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavani's.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing Coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing Coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe Coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, y'all don't know how to dance to music like that. All of y'all wasn't born. Well, maybe you was born, but all of y'all wasn't born when this music came out. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. All right, I got a question. Did Sean leave? All right, nobody leaves. Nobody leaves. I got a question. If you were in a country illegally and they paid you $1,000 to go back home, would you go home? Now, don't use American dollars, right? If you were going to Mexico, the peso was at 0.51 to the dollar. So if I gave you an American dollar, it's like having $2.
Hell no.
So the Department of Homeland Security announced today that the Trump administration is offering a $1,000 stipend to illegal migrants willing to self-deport from the United States. That's what the Wall Street Journal is reporting. This is from blackenterprise.com. If you are here illegally, self-deportation is the best, safest, and most
eggs are $1,000
cost-effective way to leave the United States to avoid arrest. DHS is now offering illegal aliens financial travel assistance and a stipend to return to their home country. Now, would you rather have $1,000 or would you rather have ICE kicking your door in, put you on a plane and sending you, and when you get there, you ain't got no family, you got zero, no money, no job? I'm just saying. So what you can do, you know what I would do, right? Download the CBP app. You can just put in there where you want to go. All right? I'm going to send Glenn home. Glenn, your home was, I thought your home was, oops. So you can download it and put your information in and say, I want my $1,000 and go home.
You get to choose where you go?
No, you don't get to choose where you go. You're going back to your home.
Oh, your country of origin.
If you're from Canada, you go to Canada. If you're from Mexico, you go to Mexico. If you're from El Salvador, you go to El Salvador.
I'll take my chances if I was an illegal immigrant.
Okay. What would you pay $1,000 if we told you we was going to send you back to Harlem? Like send you back to New York State? How much money would it cost?
I wouldn't be able to afford an apartment in Harlem with $1,000. I would have a little hut.
How much money would it take for us to send you back to your home state?
$7,000.
Okay. Well, you can get an apartment for like a month?
That gives me time to get a job, though.
Sean's saying maybe 2 months. But that's in New Jersey. Because you're not living in Harlem for $3,500. Man. She said this is the safest option. This is the Homeland Security president. This is the safest option for our law enforcement and aliens, and a 70% savings for U.S. taxpayers. So illegal immigrants will get $1,000 once it's confirmed they successfully arrived in their home country through the app. One migrant from Honduras has already received payment for self-deporting. The CBP Home app, created by the Biden administration for migrants to schedule appointments to enter legally, you can now sign up. You can sign up to leave. Officials have yet to highlight where money from the stipend comes from in the government's budget or how much the money. We saved all that money with Doge. We can use Doge money for it. It's also not identified if offering migrants such a small stipend, particularly to cover costs, is enough. Okay, to convince them to leave, they're going to be knocking on your door to make you leave for free. Would you rather go with $1,000 in your pocket? The Mexican peso is 0.51 to 1. You have double. That's like going home with $2,000 in your pocket.
And the clothes on your back.
And the clothes on your back. Well, you get to take what you want to take. They fly you there for free. It's free.
You don't get to pack up pictures.
Yeah, you get to pack up. You get to pack up and go.
Dr. Ken.
Now, if Homeland Security come, you ain't packing up nothing. If you in your underwear, deuces, you are done. Anyway, what are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. I got a question because when Denise Thomas get in here at 5:30, I want to hear what she got to say about it. Will she take the $1,000? I mean, that's a nice, you could get you some Gucci shoes, couldn't you? I'm just saying, all right? And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Backups on northbound 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Hampton. Southbound's heavy from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound 43 backing up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keith. The southbound side slowing down from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge all the way to the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 45. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 65 at the lake, 71 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Did you hear? There are still spots open for Girl Scout Summer Camp 2025.
Whether you're into water activities, arts and crafts, sports and games, exploring nature, or even horseback riding, there's a camp just for you.
Choose from GSY's day camps, overnight camps, community day camps, or Camp Hero.
Bring a friend and get ready for a summer full of adventure, friendship, and leadership.
Register today and let's make this the best summer ever, Girl Scout style.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
Most people don't know that a county executive is a higher elected position than a mayor. Most people don't know what a state assembly representative does, a state senator, nor their function in overall state government. Most people, in fact, don't know what a school board representative actually does. Ask a person who their county board supervisor is, and they'll likely shrug their shoulders. Also, most people don't vote. We're in for a world of hurt. If we don't know the functions of our government at the very basic level, then we are not nearly equipped for what is going to happen to this nation for the next 4 years. All they had to do was tell unsophisticated folks gas prices are too high, inflation is too high, bacon and eggs cost too much. It's this guy's fault. It's this party's fault. Vote for us. Don't think about the criminal prosecutions. Don't think about all the malfeasance. Don't think about all of the misconduct and the corruption. We're going to make your bacon cheaper. We're going to make your eggs cheaper. We're also going to gut the FBI. We're also going to gut anything related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're going to shred this nation from the top to the bottom, all in favor of a handful of folks. How about this? Let's tell people that immigrants are actually the problem. And then Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk will bring in the most highly trained immigrants this nation has ever seen. Why? Because Americans are none the wiser. Don't believe me? Look at public school children's performance, not just in Milwaukee, not just in Wisconsin, but nationwide. Get ready for a long ride, ladies and gentlemen. A very long ride.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Brewers avoid a sweep at home with a 4-0 win over the Chicago Cubs Sunday. Milwaukee finally broke through with a 4-run 6th inning, including a clutch 2-run double from Caleb Durbin. The Brewers open a new series Monday night against the Astros at American Family Field. Milwaukee is currently sitting at 17-18 on the season.
He gets it. He shoots. Tip. They score! Game over! Series over!
In hockey, the Winnipeg Jets stunned the St. Louis Blues in Game 7 of their first-round playoff series. Adam Lowry netted the game winner, getting Winnipeg to the Western Conference semifinals against the Dallas Stars. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
One of my favorite groups. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Somebody done snuck into the studio. The one, the only, the magnanimous, the effervescent. Wait a minute, it's my show. What I'm calling man? Anyway,
Dr. Ken, trust and believe.
What's going on?
Everybody knows this is your show.
Oh, you know I'm just teasing you like you always tease me every Sunday night and Monday night because you remind me your name come first. See, she's smiling. Okay,
it doesn't matter whether my name comes first or last.
What?
It doesn't.
What?
I'm still DT. What's up, Truth Nation? How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody.
Val said, Dr. Ken, do you really believe they're going to give them people that money? Yeah. It's either that or pay, what, $40,000 a year to keep you here? I'm giving you $1,000. I might even throw in 2 or 3. Or, you know, as my producer Glenn was, how come they don't give them $5,000? They giving women $5,000.
That's how Glenn sounds. You go, Glenn, you got to start defending yourself, brother. You let Dr. Ken
hey.
I'm just here to press buttons.
You're a guest here for at least
I'm a guest.
24 minutes. Give a brother some love. Really? Okay. Wait, no. Really?
You're right.
Really? See, got it pretty good, didn't I? See? He had to look at the button. Did he press the button? Gotcha. No, but seriously, so $1,000 for a person to leave the country. You get to take all your stuff with you. We're gonna give you transportation where you want to go home. Now, if I was here from like anywhere south of like the U.S. border, and you said you would send me anywhere, well, take me to Paris. You're gonna send me to Paris for free and give me $1,000. I'm gonna rock that. I mean, any other country that's taking immigrants, I'm going there instead of home. Just because. I mean, I can see the world. Because then if they throw me out, you know where they got to send me? Back home. So, I mean, I get a free trip to Paris. I get $1,000. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Just because you jet set all over the world, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I can see Paris. Wasn't you just in Paris? Or you're going to Paris?
And I'm going at the end of the month. Yeah. Maybe. I can't be telling my business.
I don't know. Oh,
didn't we talk about that? You can't be putting your business like, I'll be gone to so-and-so from so-and-so. I come back home. Where's my furniture?
So watch this. She say that, I don't even know, like, does she have a car? Does she have she just...
Here's the thing.
She just shows up.
And thank you for the love.
No,
That's an interesting username. Mal the Elephant says, hey, DT, welcome. I missed that goddess-like voice of yours. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Look at Dr. Ken's face.
She was on last night.
Here's the thing.
$1,000 now. Come on, $1,000.
As a black person,
that's some shoes.
I'm staying removed from all of this deportation because, you know, it's interesting when certain groups, especially like white supremacists, will say things like, go back to your country.
Right. When they are not even in their country.
And that And then also, as far as, from a black lens, and I don't want to be monolithic and speak for all black folks, but I'm like, I'm going to pull Malcolm X. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock landed on us. So did.
I can't relate, and it would be unfair for me to even speak on deportation because, again, now my mother's an immigrant.
Right.
She came to this country, through marriage. She married my father. My father, they got married because she was in London. So she's Guyanese. Mm-hmm. And when...
That's why Denise is the way she is, though.
What do you mean?
I mean, she got a baller father and a baller mother, and they was on point. They was like, hey, you do what we tell you to do, and they raised her right. Look at her. Look at her. She's...
No, it was a very traditional upbringing. But I say all that to say, look, I just find it interesting that we as people will talk about subject matters that
ain't got nothing to do with us.
Don't have anything to do with us.
They ain't throwing black people out.
And I wish they would. Here's the thing. We as black folks know, and I'm going to say this with the utmost confidence and conviction. Listen, this is coming out of my mouth, and that's why we call it the truth.
Okay.
Because it is. Milwaukee Black Talk. This country would literally deteriorate slowly but surely without black people. You can call us lazy. You can call us uneducated. You can call us whatever you need to tell yourself to convince. And again, I'm speaking to the white supremacists that may be listening to this show. You could say, they get in the way, or they're getting out of control. They're getting too comfortable. They're making too much money. All this stuff. Deport us if you want to, because then everything that matters in this country, from both a cultural standpoint, entertainment standpoint, and I'm going to get to the real stuff here in a minute.
Oh, I got some real stuff for you.
Yeah. Like, I'm just going to start with the nice to have.
Just the simple stuff.
Like
the stuff you don't think about a lot, but you just...
You know what I'm saying? Like, the entertainment factor.
Right.
Because anytime you want to be entertained...
And sports.
Same thing. Sports is a level of entertainment. So let's just start with that. And then let's get into the products, the services that we've created. GPS, black person.
Right.
I mean, even, if we talk about whiskey, everything that has
Cotton
become,
gin, all that.
The list goes on and on and on. But yet when you look at the face of who society teaches us invented that, so my thing is this. I wish y'all would try to send us back. And we're going to get into that when we start the Truth Unfiltered. But the thing is, be careful for what you ask for.
Oh, glad you said that.
Yeah, be careful what you ask for. Be careful of how you tell certain groups of people to go back to where they came from. Because the minute that it's kind of like, when you're in a relationship, I don't need you.
Okay.
Leave then. And then, 5 minutes later,
come in, I gotta pay what? So watch this. If black people leave, here's my suggestion before we go to break. We take all of our inventions with us.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
take it all from the patent office. Take it all. So first thing, everybody's in the military, everybody's in law enforcement, everybody's a firefighter that uses a safety hood or a gas mask, gone. You die. Because Garrett Morgan invented that. Also, Garrett Morgan, all your cars gonna crash because he invented the electronic traffic signal. So, knock yourself out. It'll be like bumper cars or
as soon
Death Race 2000.
As black people start collectively talking about what if we had our own, or let's build our own. Here come the white supremacists saying things like, "Oh, well, you're racist," or "That's creating even more division." And it's like, just tell us how you really feel, because at the end of the day, white supremacy is about control. It's about making you feel as though I own you, you're my property. It goes back to slavery.
Well, I tell you, those hair care products that white people use that straighten your hair, yeah, they're going to be looking like black people because he invented that too. Hair straightening.
I get it.
Improved sewing machine and improved the continuous contact trolley pole. You know that thing we got outside, that thing that's on the track that goes around?
The list goes on and on.
It wouldn't work. You wouldn't have it.
Here's the thing. We talk about boycotting which, for certain situations, I'm a proponent of that. My question is to everybody, whether you're black or not, what do you think this world, let's not even, I'll even limit the geographical boundaries here. How do you think this country would function without black people? And before you even go, it would be a much peaceful, it would be, no, seriously, think about it. Think about every dependency that you have and ask yourself, if black people just went away, no black influence, no black inventors, no black creators, nothing, how would this country function? And I promise you that if someone can say, we would be just fine, I promise you'll never hear that come out of my mouth again. I promise you, I'll never bring it up again. If you give me a valid list of, this is what we'd be able to do, because we're going to talk about that. This Civil Rights Act, this dismantling of the Civil Rights Act, i.e. Project 2025, that's starting to come into fruition, that is basically removing the freedoms that we have. Forget DE&I. This is like civilian rights that are being dismantled under this new administration. And some people are going to say, I'm with segregation, I'm with separate but equal. I'm all about this. I don't want to be anywhere when I'm not wanted, but be careful what you ask for.
Wasn't we just talking about that earlier?
I'm just saying.
Denise Thomas, she done took over. And she taking over till 8 o'clock. Make sure you're right here, because Truth Unfiltered started at 5:30. I forgot to tell y'all. I didn't tell y'all. Truth. We started a half hour early.
You didn't announce? You didn't push it?
No, of course I pushed.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But I say it's 6 o'clock, but now we're here now, so we're just going to take over now.
Let's do it.
Let me see. Talking text line. So if they're here illegally in the country, why would they be entitled to make any money they earned unlawfully? Because in America, if you work, you got to get paid. That's literally the law, whether you're here illegally or not. So you're going to get paid. And they pay taxes on that money. So I wouldn't take their money just because they came here and worked.
Y'all keep deporting people. Keep on and see what happens when you need something.
Somebody said, you may get away with bullying your producer from time to time, but I bet you ain't going to try that with DT without getting a cloud of smoke in return.
Let him know.
Watch this. You ready?
Oh, Lord.
I don't think so.
Here we go.
Who said I'm getting bullied?
Come on now. Hey, actually, Sir Chance said you're getting bullied on the YouTube chat. So I think Sir Chance should come up here and explain that to you, like right now.
Hey, Sir Chauncey. Is it Sir Chance or Sir Chauncey? I thought it was
We'll talk to him in the morning.
Yep.
Okay.
That's him. So what's your definition of illegal? Okay, we're not getting into that.
Why not?
Because the law it's clear. If you came here and you didn't come here through immigration, you're illegal. Like, stop. Anyway. 100% DT. Ooh, so you got a fan up in here, and when we come back, I'm gonna find out what's the relationship between you and Mile the elephant. I just want to know.
So because they agree with me, there's a relationship.
I want to know. You're listening to Truth Afternoon.
So nobody can agree with me unless I pay them.
Ooh, she said it, not me.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design.
Great impressions.
Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Hey everybody, it's Melanie Ricks. You all know I love supporting a local team. That's why I'm excited to tell you about UW Credit Union. They've been serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. And when I was in school, they helped me learn how to plan for my future and make my money grow. Even now, they're still always there for me when I have questions, and they'll be there for you too. So stop by any of their 13 Milwaukee area branches or visit uwcu.org to become a UW Credit Union member today. Like me, federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. Never. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. That's some Jesus stuff. You don't gotta look like that. He don't understand. All he heard was submissive, and it was talking about following your lead in a show. And he went from show some love. But in all seriousness, we were actually talking about the Civil Rights Act and Title VI, and what's going on with the Trump administration, with the executive order that was written to remove certain things. And rather than do it, we got about 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna let Denise kind of start it out.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so here's the thing. The Trump administration is taking aim through its, and I'm doing the air quotes, restoring equality of opportunity and meritocracy executive order. And this was published last month. And so this, out of the many, many executive orders that Trump has written during his first 100 days, is calling for the repeal of agencies' impact regulations under the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and demands appropriate action with respect to pending enforcement proceedings under other laws like the Fair Housing Act. And so this order proceeds from the baseless assumption that compliance with civil rights laws that allow for disparate impact claims is achieved by taking something away from members of another group. And so basically, we're not talking about DE&I. Okay, we're not talking about making sure that employers or colleges or institutions of higher learning are employing or admitting people based on merit versus racial identity. We're talking about basic civil rights. And so when we come back, let's unpack the real meaning behind the Trump-era executive order. And my question to you, Dr. Ken, and our valued listeners, is this restoring equality? Because a lot of people are saying, yes, in addition to getting rid of DE&I, we don't need civil rights acts. We're good people. We know how to treat people fairly. We know how to treat people with equality. Or is this executive order rewriting the rules to preserve systemic advantages? That's what we need to unpack, because at the end of the day, a government order with a name that's so interesting and so intriguing, it may sound good, it may sound interesting, but we really got to unpack what's going to rattle your comfort zone. So we're going to ruffle some feathers when we come back regarding restoring equality or further perpetuating systemic racism in this country.
And you heard it here first. Just make sure you stick around for Truth Unfiltered every Monday night from 6 to 8 with Denise Thomas and me, Dr. Ken Harris. We will be right here. So just don't go anywhere. Just leave radio on 24 hours a day, because we're here 11 hours live, and the rest is rebroadcast so that you can hear the best in Milwaukee Black Talk. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon, Truth Unfiltered. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, DJ Brother Z. Thank you, Truth Nation. Who was out here hollering at me? Sandra was hollering at me and was treating me all bad. I want to say thank you, Truth Nation. Thank you, everybody. Hey, God bless. Take care.
Be quiet.
I'm out.